Hey guys, welcome to Monkey's World. This is a genealogy video. We haven't done one of these in quite a while. So, okay. I want to talk to you about what my mother and I call the genealogy Bible. What do we mean by this? Well, it means the place where you keep your information. A binder, preferably, of some sort. I like this kind. This has several folders in it, as well as a folder at the back. Has this to hold it together. It has this for a pen, which is handy. It has a clipboard at the front for a notebook. And it, just throw it on the floor. As everything falls out. Terrific. Forms, which are very important. That's the other notebook. Okay. Forms are very important. It makes it much easier to write out a census record, particularly if you're at the National Archives and Records Administration. We have two here in Massachusetts. One in Pittsfield, which is way out by New York. New York State, upstate. And one in Waltham, which I have been to on a number of occasions. So you need a notebook like this to go there. Now, obviously, I have notes here. Just gonna take the top off here because they come off. There we go. All right. And I kept some emails in here as well. Now I could separate these by family, and I do recommend you do that. But I just haven't done that because I don't have that much in here to worry about. Yeah, this isn't going to work very well because it's not very full. This works better when it's more full. So I just leave it across the back and it's a little stretched out. So our original genealogy Bible was this notebook. This thing smells so heavily of smoke when you open it. It's like, ugh. And there are actually a few things in here. There's a place for cards of different kinds, as well as a place in between each, subject for stuff to go in the pockets, which is important in a genealogy Bible notebook. Wow. And this I'll always keep because it has my mother's handwriting in it, as well as my own, but it has my mother's handwriting in it, so I would always keep it. But this is kind of out of order. It's disorganized because all we were doing was keeping one notebook with interviews of family members and things like that. I remember the day that we went out and bought this. My mother and I were so excited to have one place. And it has these, and we chose it because it has these like plastic covers. It also has this protector over the spirals to keep it from falling apart, so the spirals don't come apart. Because one problem that we've had over time is the spirals coming loose in notebooks, and then you end up with a potential tetanus shot waiting to happen. When the spirals start coming loose in a notebook and they have that sharp end, like I said, it's a tetanus shot waiting to happen. So, which I have to have next month. Anyway. Unfortunately, a lot of the people who were interviewed in this book have passed away. This book is full, so that's why we moved on from it. But this was our original book. See, it's blue. We used to call it black, but yeah, the sunshine here, you can see that it's blue. But it's a Mead 5-star, 3 subject. But yeah, we got this one because it's tough, and we could take it to Connecticut with us and wherever. One thing that I highly recommend that I wanted, that my mother and I both wanted, was a scanner that you can take with you and literally scan a page. Actually, thinking about it, I don't even need that because my iPad actually has a scanner, which I accidentally used once. But yeah, my iPad has a scanner. So you hold it over, instead of taking a picture, you tell it to scan, and it scans the picture. It scans the image of the document, picture, whatever it is. And I could do that for the family Bible. I do not care that the family Bible is in French, quite frankly, because I know enough to be able to say, okay, that's, February blah, 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 of blah, blah, blah year, and that's the person. You know what I mean? Even though I don't speak French, I know the months well enough to understand them. And I know what spouse is, what child is. Child is enfant with an E. Spouse is espouse. And it's interesting because in Spanish it's esposo, and it's espouse in French. So it's very similar. And no, I'm not multilingual at all. I just actually know quite a bit of Spanish, probably more Spanish than I do French. I'm sorry, Grammy. But I know where the family Bible is. I've just got to get together with the people who have it to see if they'll let me scan those pages that my great-great-grandmother wrote in. Because it is a family Bible and she wrote it in French. So, and I can Google translate it anyway if I have to. But dates I can get, names I can get. You know what I mean? Without knowing a lot of French. So, my grandmother's up there going, how come your father didn't teach you French? She's probably up there going like this, and my father said, why didn't you teach her French? Oh no, Mom, I just didn't. Mom, I never used it. after you died, I had no reason to use it. Except when he docked with my bonus godfather. My godmother's second husband was another godfather to me, but I have a godfather who was her first husband. And I love my Uncle Billy. But I love my Uncle Rick too. So, and he spoke French. My dad spoke French. So they would strategize in their card game against my mother and my godmother, and I remember the two guys would sit at the short ends of the table and the two ladies would sit at the long ends of the table across from each other. And they'd be kind of looking at each other like, and looking at the guys. And the guys would be speaking French. They'd be like, you know, my father taught me to count to 10 in French, but I only remember 1, 2, 3, which is add dat trois. So what I need to do is go to, that was good. Go to my tree. Oops. Tree. Oh, no, I don't want to change that. I wanted to change the way it looks. There we go. Okay. Now, okay. Okay. Why does that say he's my cousin? Yeah, he's my second great grandfather. Okay, ovular. And meaty. Okay. Alan and Marilyn. Anyway, so that's what I have to do. I have to find either Alan or Marilyn and see who has the tree. Hey. Doris Bordeaux. That's the wrong one. Let me edit. Okay, it should be Bordo. Out of Massachusetts. Search. Anyway, Well, that didn't help, did it? Nope, that's not her. Anyway, I need to find the kids so that I can okay. Yeah, because I don't have the kids, the daughter's husband's names, and I know they were married. So I need to find that. And I will keep you updated on the family Bible. Um, Ellen Donalda. That would be it. Let me. So, oh my goodness, I found her picture. That's cool. She looks like her mom. That's kind of funny. Okay, her birth record. Anyway. Um, so yeah, it's important to have some kind of central location for everything that you have written before it ends up in the computer. I would highly recommend that it ends up in the computer. Otherwise, you're going to get drowned. You'll end up a paper hoarder, and that's never good. So, and I do still have a lot of paper because I have certificates, and that's very important. A lot of my certificates are digital. I also recommend thumb drives for keeping, and I would have one for pictures and digital documents from, say, dad's side of the family and one from mom's side of the family. I would have one for your family tree itself for backup. So that you don't lose images of people and documents, and you don't lose your tree when your computer inevitably goes kaput. So I am going to continue to look for these girls. I will give you an update. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day. I will put links to forms, free printable forms, as well as links to Family Search and I don't know. So that you can begin your journey for free on Family Search. Bye, guys. God bless you. We're trying to get to 300 by July 4th, so please subscribe, and please subscribe at Kid Missing because we're trying to get to 500 by July 4th. Bye, guys.